This is the instructions for installing an overhead rack on the Tacomas and the Tundras. They're basically the same instructions. First thing you want to do is, this part here has the art on I call this part the wings. These are the forward and rear tabs, wings, and these are just the end tabs. So I'm gonna take this and just flip it over. This is gonna be the back side. This is gonna face the ceiling. You grab some pliers with a rag, and you just bend this up at a 45-degree on both sides, and that adds the rigidness. I used to send them pre-bent, but UPS likes to do a WWE on this, and they like to bend them. This way, if I send it straight like this and it gets a little bent, it'll straighten out pretty easy. And then once you bend the tabs, you'll get the rigidness back. But if I send it pre-bent and they bend it, it kinks the front and the back, and it damages the piece. So there you go. I bent it up at about a 45-degree. And this makes the panel super rigid. I've had about 30 pounds on this. It held for about 3 minutes, and then it bent on the art. Obviously you don't want to put 30 pounds, that's just an overkill. I just did it just for testing. Now the wings here, you're going to bend them up about 20 degrees, and these here you're going to bend up at 20 degrees as well. I use my hands to bend it up, about like that. Then the tabs, put my palm on it. Bend them like that. Put my palm on the back. Bend them back. And that there is how pretty much you start off. Now, I mean, this isn't the correct angle, but once you start mounting it, it'll pick up the shape of the ceiling. You just start tweaking it so it fits. The Tundras are a lot longer, so here you have some tabs which are, you have to bolt them on. You want to bolt the tab under it instead of on top, that way you don't see it. And then those tabs, you bend them as well. Here are the grab handles. These tabs here, you just pull it, you have to pull them straight out, and it releases. It's basically a wedge for some spring clips that are inside. I like to put pliers on it and just pull it out, because if you put a screwdriver in the back, it doesn't really, it's a little challenging to take it out that way. You can use pliers, just grab it and use your rag again if you don't want to mar up the plastic. You won't be reusing this. Here's a little plastic clip that was in here, and you see the metal tab there. Now you got to take some needle nose and squeeze that tab and pull it out. This plastic piece just is a wedge that goes in there to prevent the tab from actually squeezing it down. So I got the handle off. Then here you just squeeze these and they come right out. Now you use one of the included bolts. You put it in and you do a quarter turn, and it locks in place. It actually slides. There's a little line on it. When you see it in the 12 o'clock position, you know that it's locked in. You can't see it once you put the rack on and you start putting the hardware on. Make sure you do both sides before you get to this step. So here I have the hardware installed. It's not in full all the way. What you saw in the beginning of the video, I actually had to take away some of the bend here and some here. I bend it a little too much. But basically you take the panel and you lift it up against the ceiling and you see how much you have to add or take away. It's a feel process. And once you tighten these up, if you want, you could put something behind this so it doesn't gouge into the headliner. When you crank them down, it'll actually take the form of the actual the headliner. But like I said, you put something behind it so when you tighten it, it'll bend up against, maybe like a flathead screwdriver or something behind it you could put on it. That way this doesn't bite into the fabric. Once everything's tightened up and everything is already everything pulls in, if you have the paracord handles, then you start working your way back. You'll take one of them out, put one side in, tighten it, and then put the other side. As for the artwork, you can go to Walmart. They sell these plastic folders for about $1, and they have all types of colors, so you can put that back here to match whatever you have on the truck, whatever color on the paint. Oh, being that I'm here, here's my overhead molle rack for the front. This part here is removable. This is a permanent install because you're actually drilling into the headliner, and this is plenty. It'll hold up pretty good. You can probably put about a good 5 pounds on it. But this here, it's replaceable with what I call the command center. So I'll be making different setups for here, and you're gonna have to cut a hole back here. There's plenty of space back here to recess for switches. And here's my my go board. Take off the buckle, hit the button, and the whole panel comes with you.